Charming.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Sidebar. I'm your host Ellis, and joining me as always is my co-host
Max.
Yeah, you got to do it this week.
I did got to do it this week. I did get to do it this week.
Nice.
Can I even English?
And you get to see this on the internet if you want.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you to everyone that has subscribed so far. That's really cool. Max did a little. Huh?
Give a love heart. Give
no,
like
just leave.
Just do one of those like Britain's Got Talent like love heart things for the people. Big up my fans right now.
Oh, my man died. I'm gonna do juggling. Is this for you, Dad?
There we go. But yeah, all jokes aside, thank you to everyone that has subscribed to our channel and followed our Instagram page as well. It means a lot.
Please leave a like. It's literally there. It's literally there. You can do it. And it helps a lot. I don't know how, but
it just does.
It does, yeah, for the algorithm.
The YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah.
Big words.
Now we're borrowing blockbusters from the same bloody blockbuster. But yeah, so Max, you had a good week?
I have had a good week. I've been off work. I've been chilling. I've been rewatching The Walking Dead. I've spent a few days in London, so yeah, it's been pretty good.
Did you do anything interesting in London?
I did. Yeah. So I went to a bar recently, and for anyone that watches People Just Do Nothing, it was quite cool. I didn't speak to him, but right next to me was MC Grinder. That was very, very cool. To be honest with you.
Did you go? Oh yeah.
I just got. I was like, oh my god, it's MC Grinder. But I was very cool about it. I kept my composure. You know.
Were there any other? There were a few celebs there, right?
So. There was, as well as that, I think when I left there, as well as that, I did see Ramesh as well from...
Ramesh Ranganathan.
Yes, I saw him walking down the street. I mean,
he doesn't live too far from here, you know.
Does he not?
No, I've seen him in I saw him in, we have a like a tandoori, an Indian place near here.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him in there, which means it must be good.
Yeah.
And... yeah, no, it was really cool. I've seen him driving around a couple of times. And yeah, it was a bit weird when I first saw him. He was on a date with someone in like the back corner.
Oh.
I'm presuming he probably asked to, be somewhere quite excluded from the windows and the general public. Just because he doesn't seem like the sort of person that you want to strike up a conversation.
I think he's the type of person in the wrong time. He seems really nice, but at the wrong time, he's just kind of up an autograph. You just go 2 words, fuck off.
Yeah, he looks like the type of guy that would just tell you to fuck off.
Yeah. Which I respect.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's but yeah, I mean, I'm sure celebrities get bombarded by loads and loads of people.
Yeah.
But the public are the way that you make your money. So
exactly.
I don't know. In my mind, I feel like give out to the public a little bit. But I mean, I don't know. I've never met him. I've never done any of that sort. He's got such a straight face all the time.
He is the ultimate poker player.
And yeah, fair play. So today's episode, we've got some local bits of news, not local bits of news, but news that's happened this week. So we're going to be going through. Our topic of this week is very Star Wars themed, because very recently we had an Obi Wan trailer. And yeah,
I was the first. I'm quite proud of myself. When trailers just come out on like YouTube, I was the 50th person to see that.
Wow.
I was.
I bet you felt really special.
I did. But the thing was, I was shouting in the toilet when that
Yeah.
happened. And I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And actually my dad was like, what the fuck is going on? And
Yeah.
so yeah, literally thought
And
something
it's
was...
just you in the bathroom going,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you masturbating again, son?
Yeah, so we're going to be going through that. We've got some DC reshuffling news. So like a lot of DC films that are scheduled to come out this year have been pushed back. Some have been pushed forward.
Okay.
What else we got? We got some Dune news, some Dune casting, that sort of thing. Deadpool 3 news, and we got God of War news. On top of Kanye news this week, big news this week. So we'll get into that. But ladies and gentlemen, we start every episode with one simple question. That simple question is, Max, what pissed you off this week?
So I've got a good one. I've
Yeah?
got a really good one.
Go
So I was coming back from London, and you know me. You've known me for quite some time.
You know me, and you know me. I will bet every pound I got.
You know me. I can find it sometimes quite difficult to fall asleep. But when I fall asleep, I fall asleep. And I was coming back. I was coming back early. Excuse me. I was coming back early on the train from London, and I was just dozing off. Guess who started to come round? Tickets, please. Tickets, please.
Yeah.
Now, to the person that's doing it, I know he was doing his job, but I just dozed off, and it was great. Then he literally, tickets, please, and I was like, no, and just like, I'm so tired. I was like, no, God, and literally started poking me, and and literally, I woke up, and I could see he was really angry, and he was like, oh yeah, sorry, I just need to ask for tickets, but look on the bright side, you could have slept through your chunky station, and then just go like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanker. That was my thing. But what pissed you off this week, Alex?
Well, before we get to me, I suppose they probably have to deal with that a lot.
They do.
I suspect a lot of people try and Skype.
You know there's going to be like some teenager that thinks that the first one to do is like, if I sleep through, they're not going to do it. So to the person, I do understand that they were doing their job. It was just the wrong time.
Were
to
you
do
hungover?
I wasn't hungover. I was just really tired. When you just
Was it a late night?
It was a very late night, and it's getting the first train in the morning. So for me, it was like I was just starting to get tired. It's like, okay, this is good. I'm gonna sleep. And then that just happened, and I was wide awake for the whole rest of the train home.
That sucks.
It did suck.
Have you ever been on a really long journey and then your headphones die? Or you've you get on the train and you're like, where the fuck are they? And then you're like, this is an hour and a half long train.
I'll tell you the worst thing is when you bring your charger on the train, and you're like, brilliant, I've got this all sorted. My battery's only like on 10%. You forget to bring the plug as well. That is the bane of my life.
It depends on. I think for me, that's always stressful, to be honest. But I think if I'm ever going to London and I'm on like 30%, I'll be selfish with my battery charge, and I'll still be listening to music and like playing Angry Birds or something. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I got plenty of time. And then my phone dies. I'm like,
yeah, and you literally just wait 10 minutes later. It's on like 10%. It's like, I literally was on 30% 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. So for me, there was one thing that really stuck out in my mind. Okay. So around where I work, there's a lot of roadworks going on, and I'm okay with roadworks. They have to be done, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Yeah. So you get on with it. Whatever. However, there was one person in front of me, and temporary traffic lights can sometimes take a very long time, right? So I'm like the second person in the queue, and the person in front of me is, they must have been on their phone or something, because the light was green, and actually no, that didn't happen at all. So what happened was, I was driving to work, and I was already kind of late. I'm usually always kind of late. It's terrible. I've got poor time management skills. I don't know what you want, but anyway, so I'm speeding along, and I'm fucking like, I'm behind this car, and this car doesn't know where to go. Like, they tried to go down one road, but it said road closed.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, so they slowed down anyway to try and mentally figure out where to turn. And you can't really turn anywhere. It's kind of like a one big long straight road unless you go into someone's house. So I'm following behind them, and they're slowing down, trying to figure out what to do, and then they drive around the corner, and then I can see the temporary traffic lights, and they're slowing down even more because I can see that they're looking for somewhere to turn, and they slow down like pretty much right till we're stopped.
Okay.
And I'm looking at these traffic lights going, please don't change. Please don't change. And then they fucking change. And this person has basically braked to try and figure out where to turn and gone, oh, yellow light, I've got to speed it. So then I'm pretty much stationary. I've stopped. And I'm like, come on. And then this person just zooms off in front of me, just leaving me at the lights, which could have been totally avoided had they just kept going. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, oh, I don't know. It was just so infuriating. And unnecessary, and fuck that person.
Did your boss do that thing when he goes like, and you go morning, and he goes afternoon?
Sort of time we call this.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really, really frustrating, and fuck that person.
Fuck that person.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think so. Should we talk Kanye?
I mean, if I say no, you're still going to talk about it. So yeah, let's talk about.
I'll keep it brief.
Okay,
So
no. Oh no, please elaborate.
Okay, so as we all know, Pete Davidson has been sleeping with Kim Kardashian. They made it pretty official on Instagram this week. I say they, it was her, because he doesn't have an Instagram because he keeps getting bombarded by Kanye and Kanye's fans. So he's just taking a social media hiatus essentially, and so Pete Davidson sent Kanye a text, or a few texts essentially.
Oh no, okay.
Saying, basically just trying to say, yo, you need to calm, because you're doing more damage than you think you are, and whatever you want out of your family, your ex-wife, the whole scenario, it's not helping with you essentially just mouthing off, slagging me off, slagging off the whole family, because it's not going to do anything. And I think we should meet and just talk it out. I'll put up the texts. I don't know. They might be on screen or something. They won't be there because it'll be too small.
Yeah. Because it's a lengthy text.
Well, it's. I mean, it'll be hard to see text from there. But and so yeah, and then he responds like, "Come to Sunday service. Come to Sunday service." And he's like, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to come to Sunday service because you're going to beat me up or something." And he's like, "Where are you?" And then Pete Davidson sends a selfie of himself.
Oh no!
And he says, "I'm in bed. I'm in bed with your wife, lol." And then this just sets him off.
What a legend!
And he basically just like that's such a Pete Davidson thing to do. Like he is a comedian at the end of the day.
I'm so glad you actually told me this, because that guy now is my hero.
I like, there's so many people hating on Pete Davidson, but like the guy's just trying to get some top tier pussy. And so yeah, and then basically Pete Davidson just kept like sending Kanye messages saying like, regardless of that, I think you need a lot of help, and like, from someone that has some serious mental health issues, myself, I can tell that this isn't good for you, and it's not good for anyone really, and like, what are you gonna, like, it's not helping anything.
Yeah.
like Kim's not gonna get back with him. The family isn't gonna, come back with him.
So yeah, tell me, I like the family hating on Kanye right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel, I don't blame either of the sides because, Kanye is a loose cannon.
Yeah.
And, the Kardashians are very pristine. They've got a title to them.
Mm-hmm.
And, once someone that, is very, once someone starts dating Kim, who is basically the only Kardashian that matters. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Not that she matters anyway. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. And
it was just, what was the video? It was a year ago. Just like where like the kid basically go, "What, mum? What is your talent?" She said, "Mummy's got many talents."
I mean, so I respect Kim in a way that she knows that she's, she knows what the internet thinks about her.
Mm-hmm.
And although, all of this stuff has happened and, she's built a career based on a name and,
you mean a porno.
And a porno, of course, that really did help.
Yeah.
But, she's graduated as like a lawyer. Like her dad was a lawyer, famously for the OJ case. And so she wanted to do that to help people, and she's actually graduated to become a lawyer.
No, fair enough to her.
I don't know if that's going to happen because she's Kim Kardashian. Like, she doesn't need to do it. I think she's just trying to prove the internet wrong. And the the whole situation and like the family, like they're very against any sort of slandering of the name, anything that doesn't that essentially rocks and affects the name and picks it up as like a bad thing. It's something that they really don't want, and I'm sure the whole family agree with that. And it's probably all fake, and Pete Davidson's just there, and he's like, yeah, all right, yeah, let's see what happens.
No, to be fair, I do give it to him.
And and then so going back to the text and stuff like that, he was just saying you need help to Kanye, and and then Kanye just wasn't listening at all. And then he did some Instagram video
of Pete or Kanye.
Kanye basically just responding to it, just saying that it was really sort of aggressive and unnecessary, and he's tearing me away from my kids and stuff like that, and just really sort of vocally battering the shit out of him. And I understand his point of view. I guess in his mind, Pete is the enemy because he's taken away his family and the only thing that he holds closest to him, because he hasn't got any family.
Yeah.
Although he does have a dad, but I don't know if he sees his dad. So and I don't know. I just think the grass isn't greener, and you fucked it, to be honest. And who are you to be angry at a guy who has taken, arguably one of the greatest opportunities that any guy has to offer, and he's like, yeah, all right, I'm just gonna run with it. Don't know what's gonna happen, but fuck it, why not? And then that obviously hasn't slid very well, given that it's Kanye West, and he needs to be very loud. He needs to be heard by a lot of people. He needs to be the loudest voice in the room.
Yeah.
So yeah, sort of major beef that's been happening this week. Pete and Kanye.
Can I just say this to you now? On your birthday, I'm getting you an oil picture of Kanye West. So you can I'm just
like
saying
an oil painting.
An oil painting of him. I might even get it naked just for you.
You would.
I bloody would.
I'm gonna hang it over my bed. Actually, can you just get me a Kanye duvet?
Kanye.
Or like a throw that I can put over my bed.
What if I got you a poster and I could put it on your ceiling wall so you could just have Kanye look at you when you... Yeah. No, Kanye. Yeah, good night, Kanye.
Good night, Kanye. See you tomorrow.
Oh my god.
Alright, I think that's it for Kanye news this week. I don't think we need to do any more.
I mean, I can speak for the, because I know.
I don't even know if anyone likes Kanye news.
Oh,
I just like
gotta get
saying
it.
it.
You just gotta get it out.
Why not?
Well, I've got some news in regards to the Kardashians because
Oh yeah, go for it.
I'm so up there with that lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought finally there'd be a finale season, but no. Oh no. They're doing a new series now.
Of course they are. What else are they gonna do?
You just think it's all gonna
Settle
be
down? I don't think so.
Do you think it's all gonna be over? Oh no. We're gonna be seeing them forever.
Yeah, it's I'll drink to that, I guess. So
Yes.
enough of the Kardashians.
But yeah,
go for it.
Before we go into our
Wait,
topic,
sorry. Did you? Oh, that was your thing.
That was
they're doing more.
that they're doing more. That's just it, really. I saw this and was like, whoa. I am like, oh my god, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. This is what I've just been missing in my life.
With that face and everything. Wow.
There's not enough. I just thought, we just haven't got enough crap TV on at the moment. We just need.
Well, Love Island's around the corner, I think.
Yeah. Do you know what? All we need, I think, crap TV wise, is just Below Deck. That's all we need.
Below Deck. You love Below Deck, don't you?
Below Deck so much.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Do you know what I would watch if the Kardashians went on Below Deck? I would watch that in a heartbeat. To be fair, I reckon that would be a very, very good episode.
Solid crossover.
A solid crossover. Yes.
I respect that. So Max, there was a major trailer that was released this week.
Finally.
Maybe a day after you did your rant last week about how there wasn't a trailer.
Oh my god! When this finally came out, I lost my shit in my toilet to the point where my dad went, "What the fuck are you doing in there?"
Is it because you flushed it? Little joke there for you. A little shit joke there for you. It was a shit joke.
It was a pretty shit joke.
Thanks. Yeah. So Obi Wan.
Yes.
Or actually, it's actually called Obi Wan Kenobi now.
Yeah.
I think originally it was just called Kenobi for a while.
So, I mean, we've seen loads of people that are going to be in it as well. I mean, we can see there's going to be Inquisitors. More Inquisitors. And another cheeky little Inquisitor. So, you know what? I am happy.
Yeah.
I am a very happy man right now.
And of course, the main man himself.
Yes.
Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader.
Yeah. To be fair, if I saw either one of them in real life, I reckon I'd cry. I would cry.
You'd cry.
You know,
like in real life?
In real life, I would. I'd be like, oh my god, you're my everything.
I feel bad for Hayden Christensen because there is a lot of hate for him, but Jesus Christ. Just Hayden Christensen, man. It's just Hayden Christensen.
Oh, we gotta cut that. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So Hayden Christensen, right? I feel bad for him because he's come out recently and he's said he understands and he knows the frustration with the prequels.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of it is directed towards him. I think.
Yeah.
There's two sides to it. He isn't great in episode 2, but that doesn't mean that he's a bad actor. Because I've seen him in stuff that he's good in. But So the thing that really like people pick up on is the script, which was written by George Lucas. So that's not his fault because George Lucas's episode 2 script is trash. You heard it here first, ladies. Actually, you didn't. You didn't. Everyone knows that episode 2 is not great.
I mean, the thing is, because that was probably one of the first Star Wars I ever watched, so I loved it. But, I mean, looking back at it now, when you just see moments.
When was the last time you watched it?
To be fair, I watched it a couple of nights ago.
Did you?
I did, yeah. And I do look back at things and just think sometimes, like.
There's a lot to love about episode 2.
There is, but when you just go, like, I don't like sand.
Oh. Yeah.
You
it's
just
coarse
think.
And it's rough. Sorry, I turned it to Trump there. And it gets everywhere.
It gets everywhere.
Not a fan.
Not a fan, needs to be we need a wall to get her head out.
Yeah, those Tusken Raiders, fantastic people. I got a really good relationship with all of them. We're doing some great deals. We got a great relationship with them. They stay over there, we stay over here. Great stuff. I hate sand. They have a lot of sand, and I hate sand. So that's why I've told them to go over there, and we're building a wall.
They're great people.
Great people. Have a great relationship with the country.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal.
What were we saying? Yeah, episode 2. Terrible script, but there is a lot that I do like.
I love that arena scene.
The arena scene is great. That is really good. I really love, and it might be my favourite bit of episode 2. Actually, no. So the chase sequence at the beginning is so good.
Yeah.
Like you hear all the sounds. It's like,
yeah.
Like you see Anakin falling, and I hate it when he does that.
Do you know what? There's a little part of me now, just looking back at it. When he just jumps up, I just want to hear this.
I love the Jango Fett and Obi Wan fight. I think that's great.
My favourite scene, and it's such a short scene throughout, is just when Anakin just goes on his speed bike, just through this.
And it's like kind of a montage thing, and like you're just seeing him, and like he looks like a moody teenager. Yeah.
Moody teenager just run away from home. He's just like, that's like,
I killed them, the men, not just the men, but the women and the children.
Yeah, but yeah, I did enjoy it.
That's pretty savage. I wish that we saw a bit more of that. I think the main problem with Anakin is that the arc isn't all there. In terms of by the time it gets around to it in episode 3,
you see the reason why that they've done it like that, don't you? Because I remember seeing like the making of it, like the bonus footage for Revenge of the Sith, and the whole way through, George Lucas is basically saying to him, "Look, you need to hold it back," and like Hayden was just like, "Well, why am I doing this?" And then it's literally at it's like the third one where you see him just go like, "Now I want you to let out." So it's basically because he doesn't want him to like lose it all at once. He wants it to be a gradual process, which I do get now.
I understand. In my mind, you've got episode 1 Anakin, which doesn't really fit in with. I mean, it does in a certain way because you need that time jump to show that he's a Padawan, but he's been training for a little bit, but then like I don't know. In my mind I think they could have figured out a way to bring Hayden in episode 1 as like a teenager already instead of some 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Although the pod racing is great. It doesn't serve much in terms of like, I mean, the story. I guess you could argue it does because he needs to win that race. However, I don't know. I think that was one of the big disappointments with episode 1 is that there was just a lot of we need to go here and get this. We need to go here and talk to this person. There wasn't a constant flow. It felt quite staggered in bits.
No.
Jump to episode 2. We'll get to the Obi Wan trailer in a bit, by the way. And then, episode 2, I think, he's hello, welcome back. The camera's died. We don't know how to fix that. Well, actually, on
We're getting there.
yeah,
Slowly but surely, we're getting
I
there.
did some research on the Nikon, and apparently it can only record like half an hour of footage at a time. Then there will probably be a way to sort it. Maybe one of you guys can tell us if you know how to sort it. But as it stands, with the frame rate and the settings that we're shooting at, we can only shoot it for like half an hour at a time. Shame, but you know, whatever. So yeah, go for it.
So yeah, we're talking about like sort of Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, Anakin and his journey. I still think Episode 3 is my personal favourite.
That is my all-time favourite one.
There's just too many great moments in it.
It's the thing that I love though, because back in the day, the prequels got a lot of hate.
Mhm.
But what Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen have both said now is there's a lot of love that have come from the prequels.
Yeah, I think because of the failure of the sequels.
Yeah.
Because they were trash. Except for Adam Driver, if you're listening, you rock. You were the best thing about the sequels.
You just liked his body, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Ben Swallow. Do you remember that?
Oh my god, yeah.
Here's the Ben Swallow meme. And yeah, not great. But you know that I guess you know it has given a bit more love to the prequel trilogy, and like you know we grew up on the prequels.
We did.
The reason why I don't think, and probably you're the same, I think we've spoken about this, like why we don't think you know the best Star Wars film is you know pretty concurrently The Empire Strikes Back, right? Mm-hmm. However, for us, we grew up knowing that you know arguably cinema's biggest twist. So you know we're pretty unfazed by that.
Yeah.
And so we were growing up having already known that, and so it doesn't really hit us as much because you know it's not a massive revelation.
I think for us as well, it was just kind of seeing the final pieces like come together. That's why we liked Revenge of the Sith as much as we did.
Oh, I love Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
So fucking good. Like the intro sort of space battle sequence.
Very cool.
Did you know Spielberg directed that?
I did not. No.
Yeah, so Spielberg directed that, which was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just great. It's just really great. And I want to give a shout out to the Lego Star Wars games. Because did you ever play that opening sequence?
You know what? That was my least favourite one out because
it was pretty hard, to be fair.
When you were two players doing it, because you get one person that pull one way, and then that person would go, and you'd always like.
There's like a rubber band between, like an invisible rubber band between.
And
it was pretty tough, but it was quite cool.
It was cool.
Considering you know the time that it came out. Speaking of, I might get that new Lego Star Wars game.
I might get, because I've still got my PS2. I might get the original.
You might get the original. Do you not have it already?
No, I got rid of it. I sold it all on eBay, but now I'm like remorsing it, so I might as well get it back.
Yeah, maybe. All right, and then that kind of moves us swiftly onto the Obi Wan trailer.
Yes.
This is the only Star Wars thing that I've been wanting to see since Episode 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't really care that much for The Mandalorian when it was first announced because I was like, oh, what is this? Is this just Boba Fett? Whatever. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't, and then it rocked, and then Boba Fett came out, and it was it's okay. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But excuse me. But yeah, I mean, like Obi Wan. And you know what? Like, I think, given time, I think this is kind of a right move because when Episode 3 was released, I don't know how old Ewan McGregor was, but I think if they were to just jump straight into Obi Wan, he wouldn't look the age that he does now. Yeah. Episode 3 came out in 2005?
Yeah.
That was 17 years ago.
That makes me feel old, man. That makes me feel so old.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
And I hadn't worked that out until now. And
holy shit.
Was it 17 years? 2005, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 17 years ago.
That's insane.
CGI in that film
that
really holds up.
Yeah.
It really holds up.
Really holds up.
I think it might have been ILM that did it, who did like Avatar and like King Kong and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The best there is, essentially. But anyway, so let's break it down, okay? DJ style. Go on.
No, I'm not. DJ.
So
Shout out to every UK student right now.
DJ. Fuck off.
Come on.
Yeah.
Woo!
So we start off with a voiceover, right?
Yeah.
It's the main man himself. It's Obi Wan. I wonder when. Like, he's never called Ben Kenobi in the show.
I think this
is
is
he?
what this is. I think this is where we're going to find out that he's going to be called when he becomes Ben. But if you've noticed as well with this, you don't see his lightsaber throughout the whole trailer.
Yes, you do. He pulls it out, but he doesn't ignite it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's using like a blaster and stuff like that.
I did see that, and I was just wondering. This is very like contradicting, isn't it? It's like he's always like so uncivilized.
So uncivilized, yeah. So, what do you think?
I'm so looking forward to it.
What do you think of the look of the Inquisitors?
See, this is the thing.
Because there's one of the Inquisitors is in Episode 3.
It's what one of them was in Episode 3.
Yeah, he's the guy that speaks to Obi Wan Kenobi, and he's got the really tall head. You know
you're talking about the same species.
Is he just the same species?
Same species. This was it. This is my thing at the moment, because obviously with that species, I think they could have done a bit of a better job.
Mm-hmm.
I know when
his face looks so rounded.
It does. He's got a fatter head than I do.
He should have just worn like a bike helmet that they just did over.
Yeah.
Because like his face is just. I mean, like here. I'm just gonna quickly show you a comparison of the guy in the trailer versus what he should look like.
Yeah.
From the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
Where he's got like a Tic Tac head.
Yeah. And I think that's my thing, really. I think they could have done a better job with that. But like, you got to remember as well, like, because they also did like an animated series of that species as well.
Did they?
So the Grand Inquisitor.
Did you watch all of the Clone Wars?
I did. Yeah, I was.
You big fucking nerd.
I know. I'm surprised as you that I've touched a boob as well. Honestly, I was losing my virginity and I'm like, I can't believe this is happening.
Me, a big fucking nerd.
Exactly. If Steven Spielberg and George Lucas could do it, so can I. But yeah, that's my one thing I think I would have improved.
Character design.
Yeah.
What do you think of Obi-Wan's character design?
See, for me at the moment, he just looks like he doesn't look old enough. That's one thing I'm saying. Like,
we've still got that like lovely sort of like golden retriever hair.
Yeah, we've got a charm and charisma.
Yeah. So based on, so we see a little boy Luke.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he's maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8, maybe?
Yeah, he looks around.
So...
Because that's when they said that this was going to be set around when Luke was around about 8 years old, that this was going to be set.
Sorry for all the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about 7 or 8 years after Episode 3. But he has just been in the desert just, like, watching over him, I think. Mm-hmm. I really hope that we don't spend too long in Tatooine, because I just don't give a fuck about Tatooine anymore.
You know, I love...
We've spent too long in Tatooine and on sandy planets, like, you know...
Do you just not like sand?
I just hate sand.
You just hate sand?
It's coarse.
Do you think it's a too coarse of a planet?
And it just gets everywhere.
Yeah.
In my bum crack. In other places. Other crevices. Oh my god. Sensitive crevices.
Yeah.
# sensitive crevice.
But I'm quite happy with like the amount of Inquisitors that are going to be in this. My thing that I'm worried about with this, because let's be honest, at the moment, the lightsaber fights have not been that good. I mean, you compare like the prequels, to these new ones.
What, the sequels?
Yeah.
There's a good reason for that.
Okay.
Well, That's because in the prequels, that's like the height of Jedi power, right?
True.
And they're just constantly training.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're if you're Force sensitive, you're born and you train as a Jedi.
Yeah.
And so that's why you're able to do all these flips and whatever. But then in the sequels, you've got Rey, who just comes from fucking Rey Skywalker.
Yeah.
Who just comes from nothing, and you've got Finn as well, who just can't really swing
But
anything.
this is my thing right here.
Yeah,
The Inquisitors were originally Jedi that have been captured and tortured by the Empire and made into these these Jedi hunters.
Mhm.
And then you've also got people like Obi Wan Kenobi, so they should be some really good fight sequences in this.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly one really solid Vader Obi-Wan fight. God.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.
I can't wait,
Yeah.
honestly. Oh, God. Apparently they're only doing one season at the moment. I can see how, the hype of this trailer. This was a gorgeous trailer, by the way. It really, really set the tone. I'll tell you, talking about the Obi-Wan trailer right now, under this table is a stiffy. Just a raging stiffy.
You know, in Family Guy, the Star Wars edition with the floppy lightsaber.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's like,
I'm sorry.
It's that year right now.
Yeah, except I'm not an old man. Mine stays strong.
You'll stay strong.
Yeah.
No, man don't need no Viagra.
My force is strong. What we talking? So anyway, there is do you have any theories or speculation or characters that might show up? What do you think?
I want to see two characters.
Two.
I want to see Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
And Asajj Ventress.
Oh, interesting.
Those are the two, because that's the thing. If anyone remembers watching the Clone Wars trilogy, series, sorry, she kind of just went into the background. I'd really want to see what happened to her because that's something I really want to see.
Ventress, she was a Sith, right?
She was a Sith assassin.
Sith assassin.
So
yeah, they haven't done that in live action yet.
They haven't. That would be.
She's great in the Clone Wars cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
You've watched that, right?
Yeah. I
used to watch the shit out of that when I was a kid. And there's a really, really great Anakin fight with her. And I hadn't really heard of her before, but then after that I was like, geez, like this, almost like she's got like Count Dooku, but like Count Dooku lightsabers, but like two of them. So
with her, basically the difference is with a Sith and a Sith assassin. Basically, it's kind of like the Inquisitors. They are taught the dark side, but not enough that they could actually overthrow the Sith. And so that was her thing. But with Dooku, he was. I think the original plan was that he's going to be his apprentice when he takes over from Darth Sidious.
Yes.
But obviously that never happened. So it'd just be very interesting to see what has actually happened to her since we last saw her.
I think we'd need to get an origin for her. I think diving her straight into this might feel a bit out of place. So there was news this week that Darth Maul was scrapped. So he's not going to be in this.
No, I don't think we need him, to be honest with you.
I would quite like to see him.
See, you say that, but I mean, after the last time we saw him in Star Wars Rebels, did you ever watch that fight?
I didn't, but I know that Obi-Wan kills him for good.
I think, and that was the thing. We just need to leave him there. That was the best. I think that was one of the best scenes with the two of them. Just leave it there. Leave it at a high.
Sure.
That's what I say.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd love to see him with his robot legs and like Scott Adkins getting back, whatever, and then. But if apparently they scrapped him because they wanted Darth Vader, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy with that. It's Hayden Christensen throughout. I don't know. I mean, they're probably going to use the voice of James L. Jones.
Yeah.
he's still alive, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If not, there's websites and stuff that you could go to.
I
Still recording. Yeah.
I would really want to see as well. I know we're not going to see it. But I'd want to see one final Yoda fight. I'd really, and just almost like a transaction from him being like the animated that we see to him becoming the puppet version, and almost that could be like could sort of like symbolizing
like perhaps he could get drained of power by someone, and then he just becomes this puppet.
Exactly.
It's like walking around hitting R2 with a stick.
I would love to see that, to be honest with yourself. But I mean, for me, this is the one, like yourself, I've been so looking forward to. And what I'd want to see as well is it's a lot darker, and that's the thing.
Oh yeah, there was also, so they were gonna film this like a year before they started, and they were like, I heard a rumor that they were a week out of filming, and then they cut filming, like they cut shooting because it was too dark. Why? Just make it dark. Like, what are you afraid of? Like, everyone that's, it's unfortunate, and like we're getting a little bit darker with the Mandalorian. Certainly, there's a clip in Boba Fett, which we'll get to, but Boba Fett just cuts someone straight in half with the dark saber, which is really cool. And yeah, so I think we're getting there, but why not? Why not? Like why not have an R-rated Star Wars film? It would make so much money. Anything else?
Like I've got to ask actually, who do you want to see?
So there's a rumor that Qui-Gon Jinn is going to be in this.
Okay.
As a ghost, obviously, because he died.
Because he's dead.
I wouldn't mind seeing Mace Windu.
See,
Sam Jackson loves playing Mace Windu, and he's convinced that he's still alive. Like, and I don't believe a giant fall. I don't believe that he would have died from being kicked out that window. Although it was, hello. Hello, welcome back. We've had to change locations due to
technical difficulties. We'll put it that way anyway.
We'll call it that. So I believe before we had to move, we were talking about
Obi Wan Kenobi.
We were talking about Obi Wan.
Just in regards to the species that the Grand Inquisitor was.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with that there, I do think they could have done a little bit of a better job with him. Truth be told.
Also, we have a lightsaber here.
We have got a lightsaber there, just for the theme of today.
There's no batteries in it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately not. But our sponsor this week has actually provided us with some batteries for... but they haven't arrived at the moment in time.
Yeah. I was going to say, you're making it sound like there's batteries in there and we can turn it on.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't. It's off. So
but we're actually doing our bit for the environment for our actual sponsor for this week.
Mother Nature. Keeping us alive everywhere.
60% of the time, every time. Anyway, so yeah, going back to it, so I do think they could have done a better job with the Grand Inquisitor, how he looked. Like, one with his species in particular, if you remember seeing his teeth in particular, was quite menacing, and as well as that,
quite scary.
They were quite scary, and as well as that, I just quite liked, they were a little bit too tall. But I'm sure the thing is as well, I know there's been a lot of complaints about that, but Disney do still have a bit of time to sort that out.
It's to sort out an actor's height.
Well, not the height, but like the sort of aestheticness, because they did the exact same with Sonic. If you remember back in the day, he didn't have the eyes, did he? And then they actually sorted out the eyes on that front.
God,
so
I can't believe they released that design. I mean, like, to be honest, when I first saw that Sonic design, I was like, it's not bad. but then it was bad.
Then the internet.
Then the internet reacted, and I was like, oh yeah, actually, I think I just forgot what Sonic looked like.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that film?
I didn't know.
You know what? Not bad.
Was it not bad?
A really solid, fun time.
Okay.
Yeah. Would recommend.
It was a good time.
It was a
good time. Good time.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
But yeah, I think they could have done a better job with that. But I'm quite curious about the Inquisitors that we haven't seen yet, because the thing is, with all Inquisitors, and this is the thing I love about all of them, yes, they're evil, but they've had a shitty time of it. That's what. So a lot of them have been tortured. So for any of you that have played the Star Wars game that's just come out recently as well, was it Fallen Order?
Fallen Order, yeah. Great game.
Yeah, great game. But
did you ever play it?
I did. Yes.
Did you play it at mine for like
No. I played it. I actually properly played it all throughout.
Oh wow.
I did. I saved up my money and I got myself. I haven't just got myself a PS2 now. I've gone for the big boy stuff now. Yeah.
What have you got?
Oh, I've got the old PS5.
Have you really? And you haven't added me as a friend on PlayStation?
I don't do that. So I just honestly play the games. That's it. That's me sorted. I know.
You selfish bastard.
You betray me.
You're tearing me apart.
But yeah, I played that, and the thing.
Shout out to Tommy Wiseau. I met him once. Here's the photo.
But you see the bit where I think it was the Seventh Sister, where her hand was cut off. Now, during the training of becoming an Inquisitor, for anyone that's read the comics as well and read the backstories, a lot of them had to go through training. So one thing that Darth Vader wanted them to do was they wanted him to know what it feels like to lose something. So a lot of them did lose limbs, and that hardened them. So I'm just quite interested to see what this lady's story is.
Sure. Yeah.
And I've heard she's quite ambitious as well as an Inquisitor. So it'd be quite interesting to see what develops with her storyline.
I can't wait.
I cannot wait.
Should we move on to?
I feel like we've got to. I know that we've been going on and on about.
I could talk about.
We could
Obi
talk.
Wan
We could talk about
forever.
this forever. Absolutely forever.
And so yeah, the main topic that we're going to do this week. I know. So when this episode comes out, it will have been out for quite a long time. But we're going to break down the Boba Fett series, which has recently finished for us.
Yes.
And it was interesting.
I mean, if you were to give it a score out of 10, what would you give it?
I'd say a 6.
You go a 6? Really?
I think so.
Okay.
In that, it didn't make me any more intrigued about Boba Fett. In fact, I think it made him less cool as a character.
What, just because of that scene? Like a bantha?
I think, ambiguity with characters makes them cool, because you don't know a lot about them. That's why everyone loves the Joker so much.
Okay.
Because no one really knows that much about him. And much like the Joker movie, and lots of stuff that have come out over the last few years about Joker, and just saturated overexposure of the Joker. You could argue that a lot of the mystery, a lot of the hype around the Joker has been killed off, because we've just been given too much information. And I kind of feel the same way about this. There's a lot with Boba Fett as a character. Certainly, if you ask my dad, and your dad as well, previous generations, like if you were to ask anyone what their favorite Star Wars character is, a lot of people would say Boba Fett.
Okay. And
I feel like with the reveal of this show, it has probably waned on that a little bit. He's not really the cool bounty hunter. Sorry, I don't know if that was picked up, but that was my hand. I didn't fart just then. I could have. I have previously.
Beer makes you guessy.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was. I don't know. It wasn't what I was expecting, and also it was basically Mandalorian 2.5, which I'm okay with. I think the Mandalorian episodes. I mean, for me personally, they were my favorite out of the entire Boba Fett series.
Yeah.
Which didn't feature Boba Fett like at all. I think in the 2 Mandalorian episodes that we got, he said he was like on screen for I think maybe a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. That's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Anyway. What would you think?
I would disagree with you.
All right.
And this is what I quite like because when we always have these discussions, the thing I find quite cool is we usually we have very contradicting feelings.
You're talking. I'm just going to turn the screen
over there. For myself, what I really liked about it was this was a new kind of Boba Fett. I think what I quite liked was if anyone was, I think, gobbled up by the Sarlacc pit, and they escaped it, I think anyone would kind of go, do you know what? I'm going to rethink everything about my life.
Sure.
And this is what I quite liked about it. He was done. So for anyone that's read the expanded universe before Disney had it,
which isn't canon now.
It isn't canon now. I kind of want them to go in this direction. So the whole thing with Mandalorians and why they hate Boba Fett. Tell me, Alice, what's the reason why all Mandalorians hate Boba Fett?
Because he's not a bounty hunter.
Well,
no, he is. Sorry,
he is. But like,
in terms of this show?
Oh no, just in general. Why do Mandalorians hate him in particular?
Because he was raised by Jango Fett, the original clone.
No, not.
And everyone else is butthurt.
No, not even.
Although actually, that's not true because there are other Mandalorians that don't look like Temeraire Morrison.
So it's actually not that. It's the fact that he wears Mandalorian armor, but he's not a Mandalorian. And
that's true. Actually, they did mention that.
Anyone knows the not canon version, eventually he becomes ruler of Mandalore.
Ooh, that's interesting.
And so I think I'd kind of hope that we go into the direction where he does become like the ruler of Mandalore.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm feeling like we're getting to.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, because he was done. He was done with being a bounty hunter.
Sure. And
like you're seeing this, he's starting to he's running a planet now. And I think, it's the early stages of development of him becoming that ruler eventually.
I've just gotta do this meme that was circulating.
Tatooine saying pussy got me acting unwise.
Her.
But one thing I really liked as well about the Mandalorian is because, let's be honest, if they kept with the original design, it would have looked a bit, cheesy. But
yeah, I kind of like the sort of the reskin, the repaint. Although I don't quite know how he did it. It looks pretty cool. I like the updated design because he's got the like the cowls that the Tusken Raiders wore and that they gave to him, and he's kind of incorporated that to his new armor, which is pretty cool. What do you think of the story? So we start off pretty much the first episode is like him coming out of the Sarlacc pit, which was it was the only question that anyone had about Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. That was all done, and then he was picked up by the Tusken Raiders. Did a bit of work with them. He was a prisoner. Then he did a bit of work, redeemed himself. Then he trained up. Did a few little missions on his own. Gained the trust of them, and then he found out that there was like a biker gang that was savaging them in some sort of a way. And so, he vowed to take them out. And then, it goes a bit deeper than that. In that you find out that, and this was a big reveal actually. I didn't see this coming, but Cad Bane He came into the show.
That was very, very. I kind of just did the old no fucking way.
Yeah.
When he came in, I mean, granted with the whole controversy of how he looked, I mean,
I think he looked great.
I think he did.
Regardless of like what anyone thinks.
So
I think given that it wasn't CGI,
yeah, absolutely.
I think it looks great.
And the thing is as well, because I watched this whole thing with my dad, and he never really saw Cad Bane as a character, but he was just saying when he saw like the only couple of episodes, like what a phenomenal character he is, because he's just that little bit too tall to be human. He's just so cold. And that's what's great about him.
I thought it was great.
Interesting fact about I don't know if you know this.
I don't know much about Cad Bane.
So
I've seen him. In like little, I don't know, like screenshots from the Clone Wars.
I did want them to include this. Have you noticed with Boba Fett's helmet? There's a little
there's
hole.
a ding, right?
Do you know originally? Do you want to know what the original storyline was? How he got that?
No,
it was Cad Bane.
It was it.
It was Cad Bane. It was. They didn't include this in the Clone Wars series. But originally, that's how he got his dent in his armor.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
One
thing I do take criticism with is they kind of made the Rancor in it like a puppy, and I didn't like that.